And now, let me invite over our next guest, which is Dr. Rytis Raynis, the Director of the National Cybersecurity Center under Ministry of National Defense from the Republic of Lithuania. Shalom to you, indeed, and good morning, and how are you? Enjoying Israel so far?
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Hold your mic.
Thank you. It is a pleasure and a very intensive and fruitful visit to Israel.
Well, let me start with this. What do you find interesting here in terms of cybersecurity and other technologies?
Israel is one of the leaders in cybersecurity developments as well as solutions companies, and we all know, and even in my region, in Europe, in my country, in Lithuania, we know about that. We always were interested in, and there was an opportunity to come to your conference, and we used that opportunity to speak and find a collaboration methods between similar organizations. The previous speaker is with whom we yesterday
somewhat
met
a counterpart of you guys.
The counterpart.
Great. So let's talk about Lithuania now. What's your approach to cybersecurity that actually put you quite high in world ranking?
Yeah, Lithuania, being a country with quite well-developed internet infrastructure, networks, the countries that do not have natural resources to rely on, IT businesses is very important. Our networks are accumulating a lot of traffic from Asia, Russia, and other regions to the Europe, we being a hub. So trafficking a lot of data means trafficking a lot of malicious data. So we need to deal with that. We need to save our customers, our businesses in a country, and we invested in centralized approach of cybersecurity. By that I mean in 2018, 4 years ago, 3 years and a little bit ago, there was decision in my country to consolidate all cybersecurity efforts, the teams that we divided in different institutions under the one institution, National Cybersecurity Center, and I'm representing this institution. The leadership was taken by Ministry of Defense, and it was quite successful. Unanimous decisions in the parliament, and how it happened. And during those 4 years of development, we reached those ranking places, being at the beginning in 4th place, now in 6th place, means that our approach of centralizing works for us, a small country as we are.
Who is trying to cyber attack Lithuania? My guess would be what, Russia and China, mostly?
Yes, state-sponsored attacks. Being a country between Russian Federation and Belarus, we have the threats from that as well. But to be honest, the majority of incidents we are registering, I would name it close to the 90% are financially motivated attacks. And I believe this is a very similar situation in Israel as well. You know, internet is without the borders. We are facing similar situations. But you are right, the state-sponsored attacks is increasing. Even while it is counting not more than 10% of all registered cyber incidents, that's the incident that is the most dangerous. The damage from the state-sponsored attacks is the most significant, and that we should care about, both in Lithuania and Israel, and we do that. But of course, the country's enemies are different.
Right, and you took some measures against Chinese tech giants, right?
Well, first of all, we, in a cyber community, around the world, it is a lot of talks about insecure products that comes from China, not only Internet of Things devices, but we are talking about those important like 5G devices and things like that. But it's not enough, we found it's not enough research is done that we could be able to talk about the facts. So we took the approach to investigate. Being a centralized agency for cybersecurity, we do have R&D division, smart scientific people who can manage the task of researching those devices. We started from IP cameras, IP surveillance cameras, and vulnerabilities that we found 2 years ago. And the recent research that we did was on Huawei and Xiaomi, Chinese produced
Huawei and
Xiaomi.
And Xiaomi, yeah.
Devices that do accept 5D technology. It took 3 months, and only when we came with the evidence and reports, we started to do measures. And why we do the measures? Because we found evidence about insecure products. And first of all, we need to investigate that and take measures, and not only taking other solutions. That's easy solutions. We believe that the purpose of our research and those talking about the facts, vulnerabilities that is found, is to try to change the behavior of those big IT worldwide companies. You perhaps would say, is it possible to change? But the research we did, this year research, showed that some of the solution is not visible, but it's changing. So it's a big thing to talk on an international community. Maybe we can change the manufacture, the behavior of manufacture. Maybe if we disclose publicly the vulnerabilities, which is hard to deny because it's a fact, we can change the behavior that manufacturers could do safer products, which on that regard we all perhaps are in favor in Israel and in Lithuania and other democratic countries.
This country, Israel, is a small country, about 10 million people roughly. Lithuania is
even smaller.
Yeah, about 3 million people
Close
roughly.
To 3.
Yeah. So I want to ask you, from your perspective, is technology the ticket for small countries to the big league of nations? Would you say?
You mean? Did I catch your question? You mean the technology leads small countries to the biggest the connection?
Right.
From one side, you are right. I would say you are right. But from other side, I would say the humans, the specialists, smart brains that connects the countries, smaller countries with the bigger, even more. The people produce the technologies. And we, in my belief, we should rely more on the people. That's the approach I'm believing on. It works. How will it be in the future? Good question. Artificial intelligence system, machine learning algorithm is changing people, and perhaps we will be more reliant on those technologies, and this is important between small and big countries on that. So that's a thing that brings a lot of thoughts in the future as well.
Dr. Raynis, I thank you very much, and enjoy your stay here in Israel. Thank you.